Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Daily Divine Messages from Spirit. Happy summer solstice. Happy Cancer season. Happy birthday to my Cancer babies. I'm a Cancer rising, so this is a big season here for the Cancer sun moons and risings or stelliums or north nodes. The reason why being right now we currently have Cancer, the sun now in Cancer as we shift into the summer, the second half of the year officially, you could say, and here in the northern hemisphere. We also have a ton of Cancer energy that's happening with a few planets now in Cancer. We have Jupiter, who moved into Cancer for the first time in 12 years. So if you want to look back on your, the last 12 years of your life, 2013, what have you learned about yourself? What have you discovered? What has changed within you and your circumstances? And what kind of new cycle are you getting ready to either repeat or end or endure? What has these last 12 years taught you so you do not repeat cycles that are unhealthy for you? And what have these last 12 years shown you in your strength, in your ambition, in your talent, your beauty, in your heart, in your relationships that you can carry with you moving forward for the next 12 years? Jupiter will be in Cancer for the next year. So we have some time that this is going to be shifting in our lives. We also have Mercury that also moved into Cancer a couple weeks ago with Jupiter. And that's a big shift in communication. It actually has been feeling like Mercury's retrograde because of the shift in the signs. Anytime a planet moves into new signs, there's a lot of just kind of stagnancy, and there can be a lot of just big energy. But Mercury, the ruling planet, for that represents our communication, our consciousness, transportation, technology, those kind of things. So you may have been recognizing some, having some, technical difficulties. Maybe messages aren't coming through. Cancer being a water cardinal sign, the mother of the zodiac, is very much this maternal protector. So, and it also governs the fourth house, which is governed by the fourth house, which is your home, family, past lives, even. So, the communication that you might be coming into right now, you may be very emotional about it. You may be again, with the Jupiter of expansion, there's a lot now that the sun is shining in Cancer, a lot that is being highlighted, a lot that is being exposed, that is being acknowledged, and that can be extremely emotional. The fourth house, the fourth chakra, your heart. So let's tap into our heart chakra with the heart chakra sound bowl and see what kind of messages Spirit has before we tap into the Akashic, Star Child, Tarot, the Beyond Lemuria and oracles, and the Four Agreements oracles. Okay, you can place your hand on your heart if you like. Close your eyes and let's begin. just heard beautiful, bountiful, brilliant, blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. It's a new song I'm working on. Maybe you are dealing with a lot of deep, deep, deep emotions right now. Emotions that you've been trying to run from. Emotions that you've been trying to hide. Maybe you've been numbing them, bypassing them, just putting it under the rug. Maybe you're working so much to the point where you can't focus on them. Maybe you just keep yourself doing busy work so you don't have to focus on them. Maybe you are shifting the energy onto someone else so you don't focus on them. Maybe, whatever the case is, the emotions that are coming up through the heart chakra is the balanced, it's the bridge between both realms of your feminine and masculine energy, of your non-physical and your physical inner being, of your highest self, your human self. And so that bridge, I'm seeing a bridge with a lot of water under it, and they say water under the bridge as a way to say, that matter isn't, it's done now. It doesn't matter anymore, or I'm over it. But maybe because of this water Cancer energy, you are feeling the water. It's almost like I'm seeing like walking across the bridge, and it's like the water underneath the bridge is like a storm. It's like going wild, and the bridge is shaky and rocky, and you're hoping you can make it to the other side. And it's like you have to allow these emotions to feel in order to heal them. They're coming up. Maybe you've been feeling very triggered. We also have Venus and Taurus. The ruling planet of Taurus is Venus, the planet of abundance, of beauty, of love, of career, of quality. Maybe you're reflecting and you're learning how to speak from your heart of what it is that your heart truly desires. What kind of stability does your heart need in order to feel secure? What kind of communication, honest, clear communication does your heart need? I've been seeing the Strength card a lot coming out in the tarot. I think it's at the bottom of the deck right now. And I've been hearing a gentle strength. I'm hearing strength, the strongest strength is one that is soft. Don't mistaken softness for weakness. Don't mistaken emotions for, I just heard ocean of emotion. Don't mistaken your emotions for weakness. Don't mistaken your emotions that have to be purged and cleared by crying them up. Maybe you have been very emotional and need to cry. Just let it come through, because you're going through a massive cleanse, purification. This doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're depressed. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. And maybe you are going through some depression as a state of grief. That's part of grief, is feelings of depression. And that stage is right before acceptance, even though grief is not linear. Maybe you are grieving the loss of a loved one. Maybe you're grieving the end of an old life, the end of an old version of you. And that is honorable, and it is there's not a word I can find. It is necessary, vital, to be honored, to be validated, to be seen, to be felt. Lot of feminine energy here with all this Cancer and Venus. But your heart is expanding is what I'm hearing with Jupiter. You're about to come into a new 12-year cycle where your heart will be expanding radically in ways you can't fathom. If you look back at the last 12 years, where did your heart expand in ways that you never knew possible? For me, I became a mother within the last 12 years. I met my son's father 12 years ago this summer. A lot. Personally, I went through an engagement and broke the engagement off with my son's father. I thought I was going to be married, and then COVID happened. And that's not the reason why we didn't get married, but that happened right after. So think about these last 12 years and who you were at the beginning of 2013, or even the summer of 2013. What dreams did you have? I had just moved to a small little town in Kansas after I left school, left college for musical theater, stayed with my mom, lived with my mom for another year, and then moved to a small town in Kansas to pursue some music independently. The dream is still here. I'm still pursuing music independently. Where I am now is different than where I was then. But it's almost like I'm back at a starting point. Another starting point in a new capacity. So even if you feel like you're in like square one, you're not at square one. You're at the beginning. It's like when you upgrade to a new level. Better yet, a new game. You've completed a game. You finished the game, and now you're playing a new game. And you're on level 1 of this new game, but this new game is the sequel to the past game. So it's a little bit different, right? You have new missions, you have new upgrades and new strengths and new, abilities and superpowers. You have a little bit more difficult challenges, but because of how prepared you have become, you can face these more difficult challenges. You have more tools in your toolbox. And this could be around Mercury and Cancer, of being able to communicate. I know this is coming long, but Spirit is coming through. So thank you, Spirit. And I hope this is resonating for someone. So this Mercury in Cancer, that's a part of your tool bag, learning how to communicate honestly, openly, truthfully, healthfully, maturely, learning how to communicate gracefully, learning how to speak from the heart, learning how to protect what you love. But, cancers, we can also, tend to, recluse. But make sure that you are around healing waters so your soul can be restored. Reflection, water is an element of reflection. Water holds memory, says Olaf. So, what are you needing to reflect on? What are you remembering? What is coming up for you from your childhood, is what I'm hearing too, with maternal figures in your life, even paternal figures. I mean, even hearing if you've had issues with your, paternal figures, your fathers, maybe look at how their relationship with their mother may have affected their ability to be with you. And that could even be, I'm hearing, for lovers too. If there are, men that have a hard time, men hold and store trauma in their heart chakra. So they block their heart off from being loved or receiving love out of fear of being hurt again, or being taught in this society that they cannot have these emotions. And if you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising male, and you've been taught that you can't feel these emotions, yeah, your heart chakra is going to be blocked. And what are you doing to open them back up? Open it back up. What are you doing to heal the trauma that you've been storing for a long time? I'm hearing maybe you had some issues with your mother, or just, again, being able to feel, because, again, you should be a very emotional person if you have Cancer in your chart. You are intuitive. Your emotions are your guide. But if you don't even know how to tap into those emotions because you've been taught that you can't release them, that's like having a GPS who is constantly like losing signal. So you can't even like get to your destination because you're missing your exit. I'm just hearing GPS signal lost. So this is very long, but this is the energy that we're coming into for this weekend. This is the energy that we're being asked to really relish in this summer solstice, to honor your heart, to start working through these blocked heart, these blockages in your heart, to trust your emotions, validate them. Don't run, don't hide. I know Cancer, you want to go into your shell, you want to recluse, and that's okay if you need to when you feel threatened and want to protect. But do your best that when you are reclusing from the world out of protection, you're not bypassing or numbing from what it is that you are running from. That you're taking that time to truly reflect on what you're feeling, to truly feel what you're feeling. You don't have to go crying to everyone, but if you let yourself cry subtly in your own space, in a bath. I'm also hearing on a walk because of that Earth, Venus, and Taurus energy, so that you can, really value yourself. Okay? I'm sending so much love to you all. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So let's see what kind of energy we want to feel today. I'm seeing this one. Everyone lives in their own dream. Oh, get that focus. Everyone lives in their own dream. Don't take anything personally. Let's read what it has to say. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. So this is interesting to think about this weekend. Again, as we're all in our feels is what I'm hearing. We all are feeling right now. We all are in our feels. We all are expanding. We all are transforming. We all are grieving a certain part of our life because we're grieving old versions of ourselves, because we're upgrading to new versions of ourselves, to new, people have been calling them new humans. Why? Because the density of our energy has been shifting, has been clearing, purging. The density of all of those lower frequency vibrations like shame, doubt, fear, guilt, jealousy, resentment. It's moving through us so that we can find stability, so that we can come into our stability with the Queen of Crystals, the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo energy. We also just, what just moved into Virgo? Mars. Mars just moved into Virgo. Okay, so that's taking that action, but also being very diligent about your actions, making sure that you are stabilizing your actions, that your actions are going to be stable. The Seven of Crystals, trust. And the Knight of Crystals, lot of crystals energy. This is a lot of earth energy. So maybe, you know, really tap into, if you have any earth sign in your chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But you know, that Mars and Virgo energy is, you know, Mars is the planet of action, the planet of passion, the planet of assertion. It's a more masculine planet, the planet of war, even if you're in a more, you know, I'm hearing if you're coming from a more lower frequency, you can be quick and prone to war. I'm gonna take a sip of my chai here. The Seven of Crystals and the Knight of Crystals is something about, this is about divine timing. This is about patience. This is about trusting that all your seeds are being planted, that all your seeds that you have been planting are growing. You know, again, with the summer solstice, if you have a garden, you know that this is not the time you necessarily pick your fruit. It's not harvest season. That usually comes in the fall, right? This is the time where you are nurturing the garden. This is the time that you're nurturing the garden. That's why you have the Knight of Crystals. Lots of Taurus energy, that Venus energy, the Hierophant coming in underneath that. Taurus and Capricorn energy. The Knight of Crystals is the slowest knight in the deck, but it also is the most stable, the most loyal. So I'm hearing, if you are planting seeds for something, whether it's for a job, a career, or like your passion, if you're planting seeds for projects, planting seeds to grow things that you have been nurturing for a long time, keep trusting that while you are waiting, God is working. Okay? While you are waiting, divine has already created your manifestation, your desires. The Knight of Crystals takes forever. Why? Taurus energy. This is why the Venus and Taurus energy is coming through. Because when you decide, when the Taurus Knight of Crystals decides that what they want, then especially in their heart space, especially in their emotional space, they're locked in. They're loyal. The Hierophant is the same thing about traditions. What new traditions, like that Jupiter and Cancer energy, what are you feeding? What are you nurturing that is going to continue to flourish? Are you nurturing the weeds in your garden that are going to flourish, or are you nurturing the flowers? And I'm hearing the difference between a weed and a flower is a judgment. So it all is dependent on what you need in that garden and what it is that you're trying to grow. I'm hearing intentions. Be intentional. This is a new cycle. This is a new contract. There are some contracts, soul contracts that are expiring, and also there are soul contracts that are growing. There are soul contracts that are building with the 8 of crystals. You have the 7 and the 8 of crystals. The Knight of crystals. Lots of earth energy. This is about your abundance, your earthly material manifestation. Trust that whatever contract that your soul has agreed to when you chose to come into this incarnation is being paid off, is being nurtured, is being grown, is taking the appropriate steps. Something around here this weekend, there's a lot of temperance energy, and I see the King of Cups with 2 cups. There are a lot of 2 cups here. 6 of crystals, 6, 7, and 8 of crystals right now, you guys. Okay, that's about reciprocity, equal reciprocity. You're learning how to put what you put out. You're learning that what you put out into this world is what you receive. You're learning how to balance, alchemize, transmute all this energy, all this cups, all this emotional Cancerian water energy. When you let what needs to come up to purge, you then merge. You allow space for you to merge with your highest self, right? Bridging those realms, your higher self and your human self. I'm also hearing Pisces, Virgo, North and South Node, Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node right now that we're in. The King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. You might be feeling up to your waist in emotions, and you're trying to look your heart, your throat, your solar plexus. Ooh, look at that one to come through. Queen of Swords and the 9 of Wands. Yeah, you've been going through it, and you're trying to find discernment on which cup do you choose, which direction do you take, which turn do you make, because your GPS signal is lost, because you've been cutting off your throat, your heart, your solar plexus. That's your truth, your honesty, you've been cutting off your honesty, your integrity. You're not honoring your heart. You're not honoring your solar plexus, your self-willpower, your gut instincts. Maybe you're having gut issues, gastral issues. You know, your gut is your second brain, they say. If you are having gut issues, go see a provider. I'm not a health provider. You can talk to my mom. I'm just saying. But for real, gut is directly related to your brain. So if you're having gut issues, then most likely your cognitive function is having some issues. And again, I shouldn't say those because I'm not a doctor, but look into that. Don't, look into that. But just from my own learning, my own experience, from my own mental health, if you feel like you have struggled with mental health, it could be a gut thing. Taking probiotics, prebiotics. I know I need to stop doing that, but I'm just sharing with you from my own personal experience. I'm not here to diagnose, treat, heal, or anything like that. Okay, disclaimer. But I am saying that when you trust in your instincts, when you trust your gut instincts, when you trust your intuition, your emotions, all this moon energy that's coming through too, Cancer is ruled by the moon. That is your intuition. That is your deepest feminine, shadow, unseen, non-physical senses. Tap into that. Tap into that sensuality. Tap into, and let that help you with making these decisions. Use discernment with your head and your heart. The Queen of Swords is about learning how to work with your head. Listen to your heart and your head, your mind. The longest journey is the journey between your head and your heart. Whatever you've gone through, 9 of Wands, you're battered, you're broken, you're bruised right now. Your heart is wanting to close off, but don't let it close off. Find balance, to temper, to reciprocate, to give, to offer. What can you offer yourself? What can you offer another? What can you offer to this world? What can you receive? Allow yourself to practice receiving love. Receiving. Some of us are all too familiar with pain, that's what we go to, that's what we become addicted to. We're all too familiar with abandonment and neglect and trauma and drama. We're all too familiar, but Jupiter in Cancer is saying we're not going through that cycle again, not for another 12 years. No. We're releasing, and that's where some of that depression can come through, is because you're releasing that cycle, that karmic cycle. That soul contract is no longer valid. I'm hearing your parking is no longer valid. So this has been a long time coming, a long time that you've been working through this, a long time, 7 to 12 years. I'm hearing that you have been healing, that you have been nurturing yourself, your soul, that you have been learning how to be more stable in your emotions, your mental, your I'm even hearing just like your how to be more stable in your relationships, in your life. Yeah, you've been going through some deep internal explorations. Deep internal explorations. Number 32 might be a significant number. That's that, again, that moon, the shadow. You see that dark feminine shadow. Don't be afraid of her. Don't be afraid of those deep feelings. Don't be afraid when you're of the frustration. Don't be afraid of the sadness. Those are guiding posts, telling you where your energy is and where it can be. I'm hearing, have grace for yourself, beloved. Hold your heart. Hold your heart. You are a star seer. You are a manifester. You are going through a major paradigm shift that will take you back home. You are on your way home. Home is, she's even pointing at the star in her heart. Home is where your heart Your heart chakra is healed home. Follow the star. I'm getting emotional because the Lemurian Council is saying, we see you, star. We see what you've gone through. We see how far you've come. See it within yourself. Let yourself grow. Let yourself shift. Air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Number 13, we just had that Friday the 13th. That was some big, dark feminine energy rising to the surface for us to heal through. Lots of feminine competition and jealousy and envy and fear and insecurities around our feminine energy, around feminines around us. And it's like, this has been causing us to explore deeply so that we can again show up more solid, grounded. That's why the seeds that have been planted, that's why the seeds are taking a while to grow, because they're being deeply rooted, so that when they do break through the surface, that nothing can shake you. No winds can break you. No external circumstances can take you. You're learning that your significance, you're writing a new contract, that your significance is not based on the material things you manifest, but based on the wholeness within yourself. It doesn't matter who loves you or does not love you, or who's in your corner or in your bed. It doesn't matter how much money is in your bank account or food is in your fridge. It doesn't matter how many things you got. You can't take those things with you. All you can do, all you can take with you, what you are discovering, what you are remembering, is that the only thing that matters is the essence of who you are. And that is love. I told you I'm a Cancer rising, okay? I've been through it. I've been feeling it. Listen, replace fear with love. Fear is just an acronym. It's an illusion. False energy appearing real, false ego appearing real, false expectations appearing real, false evidence appearing real, false everything appearing real. Replace it with love. Do your best to find love in your word. Do your best to speak from a place of love in your heart, even if you are. That's how you can, thank you, Spirit, that's how you can open up that blocked heart chakra, is to replace that fear with love. The fear of not being enough, the fear of scarcity and lack, that we are shifting that. We're going through a paradigm shift of not being good enough. Those are old contracts that have expired. We just celebrated Juneteenth yesterday. The expiration of slavery is over. I'm hearing slavery is over. The expiration of slavery has now brought us into a paradigm shift to remind us of who we were before we were slaves, of the royalty, of the thrones, of the king, queen, god, goddesses that we are. We're going back to those roots. We're going back to this new paradigm I'm surprised Ancient Future didn't come out. We're choosing a new cycle, a new way of living, and it's through love, not fear. I know the world is going crazy. I know, because the old traditions, the old traditional way of living in fear and shame, all of that control tactics are being expired in our human frequency. It's no longer allowing to be resonant. But we are all equal participants in this shift. Your soul work is work for the collective, is work for the collective soul. So every time that you shift, the collective shifts. Every time that you take a deep breath and transmute those feelings that are deeply in your heart as it expands, every time you tell yourself, I love myself, every time you forgive, every time you let a tear shed, you are transmuting for the collective. You are an alchemist. You are a master manifester, and this world needs you. The Lemurian Galactic Council are really very passionate about making sure that we know exactly who we are, that they see us, that they are with us. And that you just keep on climbing, keep on rising. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Lemuria. Just take those deep breaths. That is the biggest, powerful practice of alchemizing. I know I've been on this conversation for a very long time. We're at 42 minutes. I have not spoken this long in a while. But this message needed to come through, and I really, truly do hope that and trust that this is speaking to the souls that need to hear it right now. If this message is finding you, if this message is resonating with you, definitely give it a thumbs up so that other people who are needing to hear this message can also hear it. To know that they're not alone. To know that we are in this together. To know that we are moving and shifting and rising and clearing and healing, and we are doing the fucking damn thing. I'm sorry I had to say it like that because, that's just how it is. Pardon my French. We are doing the dang thing. And I love you. And I appreciate you for being here. And I appreciate you for being you. Thank you for letting me speak my truth, speak on behalf of our Galactic Council of Lemuria, of Spirit, of your guides. Thank you for letting me speak and channel the highest vibrational frequencies of conscious love. Our little tiny soul tribe is growing slowly but surely, like this Knight of Pentacles, this Knight of Crystals, but we're mighty, we're strong, and again, every single one of us, it doesn't matter if we feel like we're small and we're insignificant. The vastness of the ocean is made up of individual droplets. Okay, that is synergy, that the sum is greater than that of our parts. So you might feel insignificant as one, but you are not, because you make up the body of love, the body of spirit, of source. And that source energy is what makes you divine. And the world needs you. Only you have what you have. Only you have what you have, beloved. So breathe. Transmute. Cleanse, clear, rebuke anything that is trying to get into your vortex that is not serving your highest and greatest good. Release and trust. Irie and be in faith. Everything is all right in good faith. Until next time, peace and love. Namaste.